Hey guys, good afternoon. This is the Football is Phenomenal channel, and we're here week 3. Got predictions for you, all that good stuff. Last week we did a lot. We did better than last week. Last week we did better than week 1. We were 2-2 in week 1, and then we were 2-2 in week 2. But then on the community tab, I had 2 additional picks that, based off of what I was feeling and researching in the middle of the day on Sunday. We made 2 more picks, and we got them. Well, Sunday and Monday. So the Sunday game was the Bears plus 6.5. Quick recap on that one. I just based that off of the fact that the Bears were able to cover a spread as a home favorite and didn't even score an offensive touchdown. And then seeing the Indianapolis Colts flop against the Packers like that, and the fact that the Texans took the Colts to the wire, I felt like the Texans were a little bit fraudulent. And it didn't really go the way I expected, but the Texans didn't finish a lot of drives. So they did settle for 3s more than I thought they would. So we got that one. And then the Atlanta Falcons and the Eagles one, it was a late call on A.J. Brown being out. And then I also thought Kirk Cousins could get a rhythm going from Pittsburgh's defense to the Eagles' soft secondary and pass rush. So we got that for 4-2. And then we had the one push with the Seahawks -3. So this week, guys, we got 3 picks. Didn't really like this week as much as the other 2 weeks, so we're going to keep it at 3. I'm not even going to be jumping in stuff on a more rhythmic note. So let's start it off, baby. We're going to start with the Patriots-Jets game on Thursday. We're going with the Patriots plus 6.5 on this quick turnaround Thursday night football game. Actually, before we do that, babe, there's some critical injuries that I think we need to discuss with the Jets. Why we're leading New England in this one.
Okay, so we have Jermaine Johnson II from the New York Jets. He's a torn Achilles, and he's completely out for the season. That's not looking too good or too hot. And C.J. Mosley from the New York Jets has a sprained great toe, and he has a 50% chance to play. And I don't know what he was going to have a sprained great toe.
I think he was running after the quarterback, and then I guess stubbed his toe.
I don't know. That's just it's in such a weird place for you to just only specifically sprain your great toe and not the foot. It's crazy.
It's funny you say that, baby, because they did say he originally thought it was a foot injury, and then I think after the game he did say, "Is it a weird spot?" And it's just a pain tolerance issue. But guys, let me tell you right off rip, I've sprained my big toe before. He lying about, it's just a pain tolerance issue. You cannot run at full speed with that big toe being sprained.
Damn.
I've stubbed that toe before, falling down some stairs before. And let me say, guys, that is not an easy thing to come back from.
But stubbing and spraining are 2 different things.
Well, yeah, no, it said sprain, so maybe it's even worse. Oh, so it's just a stub?
Yes.
I guess that's me just being a wannabe athlete now. But
well, he has a 50% chance.
50-50 more likely.
I think more likely. It's not. I don't think it's that deep.
You think he's gonna play?
I think
so. We actually disagree, because I think he will play, and I think he's gonna be limping off the field.
I don't think he's that serious. He can take a Tylenol and then he'll be fine.
But he's a linebacker, so he's basically got to be the guy that runs into the middle of the line, offensive defensive line, and hit that running back. And guys, the New England Patriots, well-coached team, meat and potatoes, smash mouth football. This team knows they're not that talented, but they're well-coached, well-disciplined, and they're running the ball. They want 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they want to wear you down. And guys being out like this, Jermaine Johnson II was integral to this team's pass rush, especially with Hassan Reddick being out. So now the Jets are pretty much looking like they have no pass rush. So Jacoby Brissett, I could see him being able to stand in the pocket, make those accurate reads, and even do some scrambled first downs. I don't see the Jets defense being as good as they need to be. They got a lot of guys nicked up too. We just mentioned Jermaine Johnson and C.J. Mosley, but you also got their number 2 corner, Reed. I think it's D.J. Reed. D.J. Reed he missed the Titans game. He's trying to make it back for this Patriot game. I don't like his chances. Like when DBs are injured, I like these guys to take some time off. So with that being said, I like New England, and we're gonna look at the box score a little bit, and I'm gonna show you why.
Yeah, run the box score.
All right. This is a simple one. Antonio Gibson got loose for a 45-yard run. He had 11 carries for 96 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, their typical bell cow, had 21 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. These guys just want to run the ball. They want to run the ball. They want to run the ball. I like the fact that in this second game, it was a bigger challenge than the Bengals game, and they still stuck to their run. Even when the Seahawks was able to throw 300 yards on them, these guys did not panic, waver. They ran the ball, and incorporated the second running back, Gibson, a lot better. So I really like this Patriots team. I like how they're forming. And I think the bookies are not caught up to how good this team is. This is not really a team you could really blow out. This kind of team, I think you're going to beat them by 3 to 4 points every week if your defense is not going to be able to stop the run. And the Jets, they showed that they weren't really necessarily great against the run. 49ers are an elite run offense, so I'm not going to hold that against them too much, even though they did get... They look soft out there, but even against the Titans, they gave up some critical runs. Tony Pollard and Will Levis. So I just think these guys are not as tough up front. I think this team is more of a 7-on-7 flag football kind of defense, where they got Sauce Gardner, they had Jermaine Johnson, so they could like pass rush and they can have their good DBs in the secondary make plays. But these guys are not really an interior defensive team. Quinnen Williams, slow start to me. So. Yeah, guys, like I said, I like the Patriots plus 6.5, and now we can move on to another game. We're gonna look at the Steelers and Chargers game. This one is a tough one to call, guys. I really went back and forth on this one, but ultimately, we're gonna go with the Steelers -1 here. And simply put, I'm gonna make this one short and sweet. This game is gonna be all about the running backs. Both teams want to ground and pound. Both teams got great defenses with their pass rush, like Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. Steelers with T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith. These guys really are well put together teams. Jim Harbaugh, contrary to what I thought, these guys put this team together fast. Like their identity is similar to the San Francisco 49ers team that he had. I'm very impressed with that. But don't like them here in this spot, and I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why. One, this is gonna be a 1 o'clock game, and the Chargers already was playing on the East Coast in a 1 o'clock game, but it was against the lowly Carolina Panthers. They have to stay in They have to stay in the Charlotte area, so they're not gonna be having that home cooking. It's gonna be they're just spending a week in Charlotte. I think that's gonna hurt them. Then they got to go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's one of the better home teams, so I think I expect the Chargers to get a couple full starts. I expect the Steelers crowd to be ruckus, and I expect a couple of home cooking calls for Pittsburgh too, considering they got absolutely embarrassed in the last year home opener against San Francisco. I think the crowd's going to be ruckus. I think the Steelers want to go get these guys a win. The X's and O's of it, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, on the surface, you would think that they're a better running back tandem than Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, but I'm gonna show you on this Fantasy Pros game log here that that's not the case. So which year is this, baby? It's this stage. Yeah, so that's Gus Edwards last year on the Ravens. So Gus Edwards, like I said this before in the previous video, this guy's just a ground and pound, smash mouth, power back. He's not gonna be able to get the ball out of the backfield. And I think that limited style will hurt them. J.K. Dobbins, now you can go to, yeah, so he had one game where he had an effective reception for 80 yards. But I watched that play, guys. That play was literally a RPO where Lamar Jackson did a razzle-dazzle. The razzle-dazzle means when they run the ball and then they decide to throw the ball at the last minute. Typically with the running back, but the quarterback in an RPO situation could do it too. And that's exactly what Lamar did. He did the RPO, then he ran, and then right before he hit the line of scrimmage, he just threw it to Gus Edwards, and there was nobody there. So he didn't actually run the dynamic route. He didn't make people miss. It was just literally, oh my God, I'm open, because everybody thought Lamar was running. So as you see from the rest of the reception stats, this guy's just not a reception threat. He's a great ground and pound guy. And I think Pittsburgh's going to put their helmets on. They're going to strap them helmets on, and they're going to meet them at the A gap or the B gap. It doesn't matter. I don't see these guys bouncing it out to the C gaps on the edges. He's not really a speed guy. So I don't feel Gus Edwards will be effective. Now you can go to J.K. Dobbins for me, baby. J.K. Dobbins is a little more scary. This guy's a home run hitter. Okay, this is 22 stats. There you go now. So you can see the stats, baby.
Okay, we're in 2022.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, Gus, he actually had a very good game against.
So you can see the rest of the stats.
Yeah, he he had a very good game against Pittsburgh. And I say that because I think Pittsburgh's going to remember that. He had 15 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown. Beat them in a smash mouth game, 16-14. Pittsburgh's ready for that. Like I said, this is another guy similar to Gus Edwards. These guys are not dynamic in the passing game. And I think this game is going to come down to a couple of plays where the dump off is going to matter because these guys are not going to have a lot of time with these pass rushers on both ends. So the fact that Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are just not as dynamic as Najee and Jalen in the passing game, I think it's going to affect it. And what are you laughing at? Okay, there you go, man. But like I said, these guys are not as dynamic in the dump off game. It's like, okay, so you're like, oh, Shaq, J.K. Dobbins went off on Pittsburgh. So why are you so confident just because they're going to be alert to him that they're going to have a big impact on stopping him from being a 100-yard rusher like he's been in these first 2 games with the Chargers? Guys, there's a critical defensive signing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patrick Queen from the Baltimore Ravens. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
You heard it. So the fact that Patrick Queen has a lot of experience with these guys, he knows their tendencies. And Patrick Queen is one of the better inside linebackers. I don't see these guys eating like they did in this game with Patrick Queen at the helm. I think the Steelers are going to make a huge difference with him in the middle. Let's see. Do I have any other point to make? Oh, last point. I know people, I've been seeing online, people have been having different arguments about, oh, the Chargers haven't played anybody. Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't played anybody. But then the Raiders and the Falcons both look good in their next games, right? But let me tell you why I think this game script, this ground and pound game script helps Pittsburgh a little bit more. The Raiders in their ground and pound game against the Chargers had inexplicable turnovers. Gardner Minshew literally threw a fumble, and that resulted in 3 points. And then Daniel Carlson, who's normally a very accurate kicker, missed a 49-yard kick. So in that case, I feel like that game could have been a lot tighter. And you also have to realize that kickers have been dynamic this year, hitting at like an all-time accuracy level. So it's really fluky that Carlson even missed that kick. So this game's going to come down to field goals. Like I said before, when we picked Pittsburgh against Denver, it's a field goal game, but we got -1, so we don't need to do money line. So that said, we're picking Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
All right.
Najee Harris.
Yeah. Najee Harris. So I just want to show you guys. Thanks for that reminder, babe. So you guys can you scroll down. So I just want to show you guys the fact that these guys can you go all the way up to see the reception? Yeah. So I just want to show you guys that these guys, Harris and Warren, they could make plays in the backfield. So you got Najee Harris here with 5 receptions for 42 yards. You got there's another one. I saw there was another one. 5, 42. Nah, really, that was it. Oh, he had 5 for 21 here, but that was an ugly game against Baltimore. So he has 5 catches in a couple games. But really, it's Jaylen Warren who I want to show. Go to Jaylen Warren. He's somebody that he could be a little more dynamic. I think, he had a 6 for 66. Here we go. Jaylen Warren had a 6
for 66.
No, 4 for 66. He got targeted 6 times. He had 4 for 66. You know, he was very dynamic in the receiving game for them, especially considering that Pittsburgh barely even had any receiving yards with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph at the helm. And he's also, thanks, baby. He's also showed that he could be a 100-yard rusher. 15 carries, 101 yards, 9 carries, 120 yards, 9 carries, 129 rush yards. So to me, he's really more of an all-purpose back compared to these other 3 guys. Even Najee, I feel like Najee Harris is better in the backfield than Gus and JK, but really Jaylen Warren is going to be that guy that's out the backfield that might make scat back type of plays. And don't forget Justin Fields too. So it's really 3 against 2. Justin Fields going to make some big runs too, guys. Pittsburgh -1, home cooking, terrible towels. They're going to get the win. Let's get this money.
What do you have to say
What's up?
about DeFrost Buckner?
Oh,
I said DeFrost.
DeFrost? DeFrost? Well, the Colts are ice cold, but it's DeForest. DeForest Buckner. That's the Colts-Bears game. We're going with the Bears +1, guys. DeForest Buckner. What's his injury again, baby?
He has a sprained ankle. He's out for 4 weeks. And he's a lineman. who weighs 295 pounds. So, like I said in my previous videos, injuries need rest. And I know when you have an ankle injury, you have to not be on it. So it's not going to be easy, being that he's, not a small person.
So not going to be good for him even when he come back after.
I don't think so.
He's on IR, so he'll be back maybe 4 to 5 weeks. But
I know he's going to get intensive training, and we hope he's going to heal up.
I could care less. The Indianapolis Colts, they've disappointed me so far, and I'm going to keep attacking them. And I'm going to keep rolling with the Bears. The fact that the Bears have not played great on offense and they was able to cover 2 spreads, I think the Bears get a little loose today. Well, not today, Sunday, when they play the Colts, because this Colts defense is just decimated. To me, also, Shane Steichen looks low IQ out there. He let Josh Jacobs run for over 200 yards, and it was very obvious that was going to be the game plan with Malik Willis not being able to throw the ball downfield because he has minimal. He has minimal grasp of the playbook. He just got there at the end of August, and he scrambled too. Like he just did. Like the Packers just did what they wanted to do, and the Colts had no pushback. They were just okay with these guys moving up and down the field. So I think the Colts defense is low IQ. DeForest Buckner being the best player on their defense out, they lose the leadership. They lose the interior line play.
Damn.
The Bears haven't been able to run the ball, but we've seen DeAndre Swift run the ball very well. He had a game against Philly where he ran over 100 yards and stood out. I think we might see DeAndre Swift have a breakout performance. I think Caleb Williams won't have 7 sacks. He won't get sacked 7 times with this Colts pass rush losing their leading pass rusher in the preseason at boot camp. He's out. Their best corner, Juju Brents, he's out. Colts defense is just decimated. Anthony Richardson's not running the same. He's not having that propensity to run like he used to, and that's probably because his shoulder got popped last year. So he's trying to do the whole, I'm not a running quarterback, guys. I'm a dual threat. I'm more of a traditional dual threat. But really, his game is really running the ball double-digit times and forcing them guys in. And he's trying to throw the ball, and he's just throwing interceptions. He threw 3 interceptions, I believe, against Green Bay. Bears are one of the few teams alongside Pittsburgh and the Chargers where they got like dynamic players on all 3 levels. So you got Montez Sweat on the edge, you got TJ Edwards in the middle, and then you got Jalen Johnson in the backfield. So the Bears defense with Matt Eberflus are very all around and talented. So I don't see the Colts being able to find a rhythm with just running the ball or hitting on those deep balls that the Texans allowed them to do. I don't see the Bears allowing any deep shots. And if Anthony Richardson is not hitting the deep ball, he has a low completion percentage. So his name, like I said, his game is throwing the ball deep and running. So they're going to force him to have to make some plays in the intermediate, and he's still not there as a passer. The other factor that I like for the Bears is the fact that this is going to be a road game, but Bear fans are very passionate, and Indianapolis is a short trip. So I think the Bear fans are going to come out there. It's not going to be your traditional Indianapolis home game. That's an underrated factor there. I think Caleb Williams is going to feed off that road support that he didn't have in Houston. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, that's simple. So we're going to recap the 3 games. I got the Patriots plus 6.5 against the Jets. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers -1 at home against the Chargers. And I'm going with the Bears +1 at Indianapolis. All right, guys. That's the end of the video. Pray for our Giants. It's not looking good for us either. We literally outplayed them, but lost the game because our coach didn't want to elevate a backup kicker, knowing our kicker was injured. But we loyal. We standing 10 toes. I got my little faded Giants NY shirt. But, it's a long year. But let's get this cash. Let's get this cash quick, fast, in a hurry. And peace out.
Bye.